Kelvin, to hold Telfort, I think, to 1 point into the last 3 minutes and 2 shots, what was the key defensively?
Well,
then?
we had a good plan. We mixed up our traps when we were going to bring them and by who. They, when they beat Mississippi State and who else was that? They beat some. I mean, they beat some really good teams. He was a problem. So, but he's different in that he doesn't post up. He creates the mismatch 15 feet and in. So we had to just change the angle. And then they were deliberately going into a guard-on-guard screen to get LJ to switch onto him. So a couple of things. We started sliding that to make sure Emmanuel or Terrence stayed on him. And then when LJ was on him, we knew to come right away on the catch. If you turn and face us, we went on the dribble. So just having a good, solid game plan for that. And then, they've got outstanding shooters, but I thought the first half, I thought offensively we were really good in terms of execution. We just couldn't make a shot. It's not like we changed the offense. We just started making them. And then our defense was really good. That's a hard team. That's a hard team to guard. I mean, I don't know how many points they scored against Mississippi State. Who else they beat? They beat somebody else pretty good. But, the fact that, to come out the way we did on defense, dominating on the boards, we've had some issues, but our issues weren't as bad as you would think. It's not like we had to change a million things. This week of practice was good for us. Problem when you go to a tournament, and Danny said it right from UConn, if you're not doing something good in a tournament, it's hard to fix it because you're after the game and the next day you're getting ready for your next game. We really need to get home. Obviously, we should have won both games and should have won 2 and maybe even 3. Could easily won all 3 there. So our team's not that far away. You guys have heard me say I don't overreact to wins or losses. We've been 13-0 enough. I don't know what 13-0 really has done for us. Just 13-0. When you're 13-0, most people think you're better than you actually are. When you're 4-3, most people think you're worse than you actually are. It's a good thing they're not coaching.
Kelvin, as part of that defense, you started JoJo. Was that sort of two-fold where,
No, there was no 2 folds to it. There was only 1 fold. He's been our best player night in and night out, along with LJ.
Milos, how comfortable are you getting in the offense, running the offense now?
Super comfortable. I think this week, Coach just emphasized a lot about just staying aggressive, and then it takes the pressure off L and E. So I'm just continue to be aggressive and be confident out there, and I'm understanding the offense for sure.
Kelvin, for Terrence to have a second half like that, is that another step for him?
It's only a step because of his health. When we played Notre Dame, he did that the first half. But, we haven't been able to use him in the second half much. Today, and I give John Houston a lot of credit, they've been doing different things to keep his leg loose. I never look at minutes. I don't even know how many minutes. We played 22 tonight. I don't know where that stacks up against other teams, but that's the most I played him in the second half because I can. He would have played more in the other games if I could. He just couldn't. But basketball is not about putting this guy in or that guy in. It's the coach knowing his team, and nobody knows the team like the coach.
Kelvin, using LJ more as the primary, ball handler when Milos is out, does that free things up for him, and is that something you guys?
It's given him more freedom, but I trust LJ. LJ is a great decision maker. That doesn't mean he's perfect, but I was a grad assistant with Magic Johnson. I've never seen a perfect player. But LJ has a winning DNA, and I thought his leadership tonight, and aggressiveness. I don't think I said a word to him at halftime, because I didn't need to. I've yet to see a guy shoot and miss on purpose. And they, believe it or not, they actually try to make it. It doesn't always go in. But, we weren't very good offensively first half. So what? That happens. So what? We're up 10. What's the difference in being up 28-18 versus 50-40? What's the difference? It's 10 points, right? Good. Well, we scored 51 in the second half by not changing anything. Just doing it harder, doing it faster, doing it more confidence, having more of a purpose to what we're doing. I saw a lot of purposeful basketball. I thought the way J1 and JoJo started the game on the boards, Emmanuel, Milos, and L, defensively, they were on a string. They were all connected. In the second half, we had, Thad. I coached against Thad when he was at Xavier with David West and Romain Sato and Lionel Chalmers. Oklahoma team played that team, and then I coached against him when he had Greg Oden and Michael Connolly. Thad's a good coach, also a good friend of mine. Known Thad a long time. But they made a nice couple adjustments to start the half, and then we kind of had the next move, and our kids, once we started shutting down what they were trying to do, we were able to get out and transition. The thing we're emphasizing to Milos is that it's not easy to come here and be the point guard after what we've seen around here for the last 10 years. And there's a tendency to want to rent, and he's got to realize that he owns this. And that was a big part of my message all week with him is, some nights he's going to have to get 20, and he can. He's that good. I mean, what you saw tonight is what we see a lot. We just haven't seen it in the game, but that's part of his growth. Like Jamal didn't get to play at all as a freshman. He just got kind of the minutes Mercy's getting right now is the same minutes that Jamal got when he was a freshman. Because he played on a team that had older, more established, really, really good players. That's why that team went to the Final Four. And all three of those guys were NBA players, Quentin Grimes, Marcus Sesser, and Dejan Dro. Well, L.J. Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp, and Milos are all veteran guys. But if you ask me what was the one difference tonight was our discipline. I thought we were much better at the little things, and that's been a huge emphasis.
LJ, what are your thoughts on Coach, give you more freedom in the offense and that he trusts you?
It feels good to have that trust. And, since I've been here, I feel like the trust has been growing more and more. And I feel free when I'm out there playing, especially just being able to have the ball in my hands sometimes when Los is out gives our offense another dynamic. And it gives me some different looks, and as well as other guys, because the defense may focus in on me and I can get somebody else a shot, or I can get my own shot. So it's good to have that trust.
LJ, how do you feel about your performance from the first half into the second half and how the offense was able to just break it open?
Kind of like he said, the first half, I liked the looks I was getting. They just didn't drop. Second half, they dropped. We ran the same stuff. We just executed. The ball went through the basket. So, yeah.
Kelvin Emmanuel hit a couple of really big shots there in the second half, back-to-back, when they were still hanging around. Guy like that.
What was the score when he made those?
I think we have a 14, yeah. Just for, it seemed like, just talking to him this week, that the team as a whole was, they said they went through some tough practices and just really needed, like you said, to work on some of the little things. But to see him kind of fight through some of the adversity, come up with some shots like that, how big is that to get him going?
Well, some guys had more adversity than others. I would put Emmanuel in the more category. Would you agree with that, Al? Would you agree with that? Yeah, he was in the more, and that was a reflection of his play. You know, we're a lot better team than we've been playing. But like I've said, November's a comma month. There are no decisions or endings or periods with any of these young men. You know, it's a new team for them. You change out one guy. Terrence didn't play last year. He tore his Achilles. We lost JoJo for 7 months. It's taken him a while to get back to being JoJo. He's still improving. JVR was out. I don't remember what month it was. Maybe it was October. He was out a long time. Was he out 19 days? Well, these guys aren't robots. They're not, well, what's wrong with JVR? How about he's out 19 days and it's going to take him a while to get back to where he is? All these guys are transitioning in. That's why March is such an important month and not November. You know, you don't lose anything in March other than a game or two, you know. This time last year after 8 games, we were 8-0. Well, this team had played last year's schedule, we'd be 8-0 too. So what does that mean? I don't care about the schedule. I mean, I don't care about the record. I could care less about what our record is. All I care about is, are we getting better? We're a better team right now today than we were at any point the last 3 weeks. And tomorrow's film session and walkthrough and then the practice on Monday and the game Tuesday, it's important to keep taking a step forward. I have no interest in talking about the past. For what? What purpose does that I mean, exactly what is it you're trying to say with that? You know, transitions in life usually occur, more positive transitions occur because you learn something, either by success or failure. They're all good for you, you know. Nate Oates is another good friend of mine. I was talking to him out in Vegas, and he was talking about his schedule last year, and they lost 5 games. We lost 3. They lost 5. They went to the Final Four. So what difference does it matter? You know, so many people have a football mentality. Like you lose a game, you lose 1 game, you're out of 50 bowl games. You lose 2, now you can't play in 50. There is no penalties in basketball as long as you have a solid program that's built on the right things. And this program has proven itself over time, and that's why we're able to have a performance like today after what we've been through now for since November 4th. We're a much better team today on December 7th than we're on November 7th, and that's all I've ever cared about. Along the way, you're going to step in a ditch now and then. You're going to have the fender bender. Go coach for 36 years and see how that feels. Doesn't matter. Get your team right. Get them right. Keep going. I'm blessed with great kids, and I love coaching them. Losing probably bothers others more than it bothers us.
Kelvin, are you finding different ways to use Milos and sets to get him
I'm
those?
still learning him. You know, I purposely coached him harder this week than anybody else because I know him the least. And you know, part of a coach's responsibility is to find out what a young man's level is and find a way to get the most out of his ability. You know, I think that's, if you ask Milos, that's probably one of the reasons why he chose to come here. He wanted to be challenged to the point where he could find out. He's a much better player today than he was a month ago. And I think he'll be a better player a month from now than he is today because I'm going to keep challenging him. You know, it's not easy being good, man. It's not easy. You know, the 3 teams that we've lost to, I think we're every bit as good as any of those teams, but not the night we played them. They were better than us. And even though we could have won all those games, we didn't. But if we lost those games and learned nothing, then you've lost twice. But if you lost those games and learned something, then at the end of the day, it's not a loss that is wasted. It's something that you've gained something from, and I think we've learned a lot from those.
I got time for one more question. We're good? Coach, Milos, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Y'all want to